Hello, and welcome to another episode of We Have Got to Talk. My name is Anna.
And my name is Alicia.
And today we have a very special guest with us. Her name is Lacey Cleland, and she is the founder of Lace Up Cardio Dance. Welcome, Lacey.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Thank you for being on. We're very excited to have you here today.
Yes. And I shared with you, I'm super excited because I'm in dance fitness and I love it. And I started following you, maybe back in September. And I just love everything you put out and I love your message and all that you share. And you've really built up this whole following of people that are like-minded and focused on the same things. And I just wanted to get a chance to talk to you and hear all about you. And so we really appreciate you being on. And I just thought we could open up with you, maybe sharing a little bit about how you got started in all of this in the first place, like go back a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. So I grew up dancing my whole life. My mom put me in ballet at the age of 2. I was classically trained, kind of picked up ballet, tap, jazz on the side here and there. But I would say ballet was definitely my main pot. I went to Texas Christian University and got my BFA in ballet. My senior year, I was working at Lifetime Fitness. I was a lifeguard and thought, I'm gonna go take a class before my shift starts. And I thought I was going into a spin class, and it wasn't a spin class, it was a Zumba class. Um, and so I thought, I need my workout anyway. I'm just going to stay. And I just absolutely fell in love. All of my classical training went out the door, and it was just like this other side of me opened. And I think what drew me more in was seeing everybody else in that room. There's no rules. There's no, I guess, box that you have to fit in. And I just absolutely loved that. And the fact that people were being taught, which is where I'm really drawn, is the teaching and seeing movement on other people. So anyways, I dove in. I thought, I'm going to go get certified in this. And I want to teach it and I want to try to start doing this. So the day that I graduated was the last day I ever did ballet, actually.
Wow.
And I've never looked back.
Wow.
And started teaching dance fitness or Zumba at the time. That's all they had. And started working for 24-hour fitness, and taught, 14, 15 classes a week.
Oh,
Yeah, it was a lot. And then, we get older, kind of got near the 25, 26-year-old range, and thought, I need some muscle. How do I do that? I like her arms. How did you do that? And I went from being a cardio bunny to wanting to lift weights and learn that aspect of it. And so then in came my personal training side. And I went and got my NASM CPT and started training and kind of got to mix the best of both worlds, and move more into like a hip hop feel. I kind of, not to put a bad rap on Zumba. I got tired of like the Latin style. I feel like Jersey Shore was starting to come out, clubbing, like that whole thing. And I wanted to dance to today's songs. And
yeah.
it, I don't know, that there was a
It's
shift.
fun.
Yes,
Yeah.
there's a shift. And so I went to my manager actually, and I said, "Hey, can we change the name of my class so that I can teach more hip hop? Because if I list it under Zumba, I technically can't do that." And he goes, "You know what? That's what your degree is in. I don't see why we can't do that." And so it just ended up being cardio dance with Lacey, and that kind of made the shift of creating my own, but still under that corporate umbrella.
Yeah.
Um, I quit personal training when I had my first son. My husband brought me home, but I kept going back to teach a class here and there every week. And then I got pregnant with my daughter, took more time off. And then right as I was getting back to teaching at the gym again, COVID hit. And the gyms were the first thing to close. And I literally felt like a piece of me, like, just disappeared.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and
I do
my
too.
Yeah, my dance family, my fitness family, it was just all ripped apart. And so we tried the Zoom thing for a while, trying to do YouTube lives, and finally things started to open up a little bit. And I didn't want to go back to corporate gym life. I thought there's something more to this, whether it be my own studio or whatever. And so, right as I was opening that door, I got pregnant with my third baby. And so that door kind of got shut again. So I had my third, and at the time, there's another girl that teaches with me. Her name's Caitlin. She had stepped in to fill for me. She continued to teach my routines for me, and she kind of kept the ball rolling as far as the group that we had, and kept them in the know and what was going on. And so finally, when I was ready to come back, we found a space, and one class turned into two classes, and then it turned into two locations, and then it turned into three locations, and it just blew up really over the last 2 years. And it went from cardio dance with Lacey to me tying my shoes one night. And I was like, I'm lacing my shoes up. I'm lacing up my shoes to go to class. This could kind of work, and my name is Lacey, so why not call it Lace Up Fitness?
I love it.
Yeah.
So that was kind of born, and here we are.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
and it just kept rolling. And the online aspect of it, you brought a lot of that in, it sounds like, during COVID. Did you automatically begin to or continue to do that when you started teaching in person again, adding the online element to it?
No, it was January 1st of last year of 2020. I don't like using the term like an influencer on Instagram. Like I had like maybe 3,000 followers. Like it wasn't that big of a thing, but I had enough to where I could pay like the monthly fee to have online classes. And so that's really the only reason why I opened up the online side, was because I had enough people asking, "Hey, can I take your classes online?" I was like, "Sure, whatever." And then it just blew up. So
Yeah, people loved it. But it happened really quickly for you then, it sounds
yeah,
like, from
it
3,000 to almost 500,000, right? In about a year is huge
yes,
growth. Yes.
yeah, it was not my intention whatsoever. It still scares me a little bit,
Wow.
but I'm glad that people love what we do and see it's not only about me, but they see those other women in the classes and messages about, I relate so much to this lady's body style, or oh my gosh, she looks like this. I could do that. Or she looks like she's in her 60s. I could do that. It's a conglomerative effort, and just what people notice is what I love. It's not just me, because I hate being in the spotlight for one. So, yeah.
You make it about the dance. I do notice that everyone keeps their hat down low, and it's
Yeah.
about the dance and the music and the routines, and
Yeah.
it's very fun, which is what I was drawn to. I was like, oh my God, this choreography is so fun. I love it. I'm obsessed with this, right? So every time it would come out, I was like, oh, I love this, right? I would text you, oh, I love this girl's routines. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And then I shared with you that I did one recently in my class here where I teach, and I tagged that it was, from you. People love it. They just respond like to the music. It's the music, it's the movement. It's all things we can all do.
Right.
I think that's what makes it really unique. It's all dance moves that we can do. They're not so super tricky. It's just the way that you organize them is so fun.
Uh, yeah, I feel like there's a part of, and I talked to Caitlin about this too, is keeping things so simple that it's so easy for people's personality to come through in their own class. And, oh, I like the way that she does that, or she puts her own little spin on that. And we've had comments where like, oh, you guys should all look the same. And it's really, no, that's the beauty of it,
Right.
is everybody being so different.
Yeah.
And keeping everything, like you said, in a way that it's easy to modify, it's easy to just add you to the movement.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. And then we noticed, you also share a little bit about some of your health journey and how you relate all of that to what you do. Do you mind sharing a little bit about what you go through with that?
Yeah, so I feel like the big, I guess for lack of better words, like red flag is I'm a type 1 diabetic. I have been for 26 years, and I was diagnosed between fourth grade and fifth grade. And I feel like a moment that stood out to me back then is I was standing in the hospital, and was one of the only times I've ever seen my dad cry, was when the nurse was walking through what life was going to look like for me. And it just broke my dad to pieces, because like any parent, you want your kid to be normal and to experience the normal things in life. And I'm thankful because I get that stubborn side from him, in that, like, I'm going to show you that you can't put your thumb on me. You can't say that this is the way that it's going to be. Um,
Are you looking to take your fitness to the next level? Or maybe you just need that boost to get started? Check out Body 20 of Newtown. Make the most of your time with this innovative EMS technology. You begin with an in-body scan to assess where you are, and then you get suited up to access 8 major muscle groups in your body at the same time. Your workout runs as a typical 20-minute personal training session, except you're experiencing 36,000 muscle contractions during this one workout. It's something you have to experience. Call 445-300-8281 or email newtown@body20.com and mention we have got to talk to step into you today. It's for everybody, everywhere.
and so I've taken me being a diabetic as a platform to, you can do this. Yes, it takes a little bit more prep, and watching your blood sugars, eating before class, fixing lows. Caitlin has had to step in for me during class before, because I have, miscalculated something, and I've had to sit out. And I'm thankful for that safety net in class, first of all, because they all know. But it's just been this thing of like, type 1 diabetes doesn't mean you can't work out or be active. Or for kids, you can go for the cheerleading team, you can go play football, you can go do all of these things, especially with the way that technology is now. People always think, they're like, oh, are you wearing workout trackers on your arm and your leg? And no, it's my insulin pump and it's my CGM. I've only been on those two for about 10 years. And prior to that, I was, doing 6 to 8 injections a day. I was pricking my finger 12 to 15, 16 times a day. I'm one of 5. My youngest brother has Down syndrome, and he is also type 1 diabetic. And he was diagnosed at 18 months. So he was even younger than I was. And it's just been this learning curve to make diabetes and fitness fit in the same boat.
Yeah.
With that and autoimmune diseases, usually they're paired. You get one and then you end up getting another one. And once the body starts shutting down and attacking itself, which is what happened to me, my thyroid ended up crashing in 2014, when I was at the peak of my teaching 15, 16 classes a week. I couldn't keep up anymore and started gaining weight. I would have my morning clients and then my late classes at night, and I was taking 4 or 5 hour naps in between and just crashing. And my hair was like, I had bald spots everywhere. And I finally went in and I was just like, what is going on? And they were just like, your thyroid is done. So I started doing the Synthroid thing, and I've always been one to look at like root causes. I've never seen like a functional doctor, but now that I've walked through this a little bit, I have leaned more that way, and finding, why did the body do this? Is it genetics? Is it environmental factors? Is it my lifestyle? Even though I was eating healthy and working out and all these things, it's really person to person. And so the doctor I went to, she goes, you need to get rid of inflammation. 100%. And I go, okay, what does that look like? And she goes, changing your diet, gluten-free, dairy-free. She pointed out I had had an IUD in at the time, and it was really painful for certain activities with my husband. And
Yes.
I went in, I don't know what I can share on here, but I'm just going
No, you
to.
can share anything.
Open.
Yeah. You can share whatever you want. You're good.
And so I went in, and both of my ovaries were covered in cysts. And
Oh,
that
wow.
functional doctor looked at me. She goes, take the IUD out.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay. So I went and had it taken out, and automatically the cysts were gone.
Wow.
And so then I looked at, well, the IUD is not supposed to be in my body. What else is in my body that
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't be there? I had had my breasts done. And she looked at me and she was just like, I don't want to be that person, but I'm going to be that person. And then I had also had a really good friend of mine who was actually the very first one to point it out, talk to me about getting my implants removed. And as a woman, you're just, it almost becomes a part of you. Like you attach that femininity to, like, oh, I want to feel more womanly and I want to wear the fun clothes and look like Barbie and, all the things. I had a really hard time with that decision, but I got to the point where I was almost desperate because my thyroid medication wasn't working. I felt like crap. I had had multiple miscarriages, and nobody could tell me why. I was continuing to gain weight, and so finally I went in and here's my white flag. We're gonna take them out, and I had my labs drawn again like 6 to 8 weeks later, and all of my blood work had completely like done a 180.
Wow.
And that was just so eye-opening of like just my body taking a breath finally.
Yes.
And it made me super emotional. Just what have I been doing to myself for the last 5 years of having them in? I hadn't had them in that long. And so since then it's just been this like, I'm not going to put anything in my body as much as I want Botox and filler and all the fun things. Like, I don't know how my body's going to react to it.
Okay.
And so I just, I look at my friend just got her lips done and I'm just like, oh, I would love that. I wish. But there's, I don't know, there's fear in it,
Yes.
trying things. And so I haven't. And if somebody comes to me with something like, this is what I'm dealing with, those are kind of the first things that I ask people now. I'm just like, well, what have you done? What do you do? Do you, use types of whatever on your skin or facial care? What are you eating? What are the preservatives in the foods that you're eating? Are you just, I feel like hormone disruptors are coming up
Everywhere.
and
Right.
yeah, everywhere. It's every little thing can affect you. And some of it I'm kind of sketchy on. I'm kind of skeptical. And then other things I'm just like, I've had personal history with this. So it's just been a very long walk that I'm still learning on what my body likes and what it doesn't. And that all affects my fitness journey and how I'm able to do class or not do class or all the things. So,
Yes. But since you made that decision and it ended up to be the right decision, obviously, you've seen positive changes in probably your body, your energy, and you just keep what you're accomplishing right now is immense. I'm sure it's not what you set out to do as big as it's gotten, but you have done it and
yeah.
it's inspirational. So,
Well, thank you.
all good things.
Yeah.
And so you have the monitoring for the diabetes. How does the exercise and fitness play into that? Does it help your overall health with diabetes? Is it something that is a concern that you like shouldn't do too much with it? I'm not super familiar with how that part of it works.
Yeah. So, you have something in your body called your pancreas. It secretes insulin into your body. Insulin is what converts the food that you eat into sugar that your cells can process and use to build muscle, to fight off disease, to literally rebuild yourself. And so when that doesn't happen, the body starts to go to other sources of energy, meaning it'll start eating away at fat tissue, it'll start eating away at muscle tissue. And that's why, like back in the day, it was called the wasting away disease, and people would die from it because it literally would eat you from the inside out. And so having my insulin pump is kind of like that artificial pancreas. It is just like a normal person. It is secreting a little bit of insulin every 5 to 10 minutes, giving me just a little bit to keep that blood sugar stable. And then when I eat a meal, I have to go in and do what a normal pancreas would do, which is put more insulin into the system to be able to process and digest that food to use for all of your body functions that you would need it for.
Okay.
Um, so This used to be replaced by the injections. Where they differentiate is the injections. Like, obviously, I would have to go in and inject myself and not have like that continuous drip of
Right.
insulin that you would normally would have. So that takes that part of away. And then my CGM, my Dexcom that I have on is what tests my blood sugar every 5 minutes and it sends it to my phone. Yeah. So you're going from 12 readings a day to hundreds of
Wow.
readings a day. And it's something during class, I will keep my phone open and it'll have arrows of how I'm trending, if I'm going up, if I'm going down. So if I'm in class and I see a little bit of a tilt, I'll run over to my backpack and try to toss something in my mouth before you have your down arrow or your double down, which is you're tanking fast. It's very helpful, but I guess just life changing in a fitness journey because I'm able to be warned, which I wasn't able to be prior to it. It was just I'm
Right.
fine 1 minute, and then the next song I would be on my butt, laying on the ground, seeing multiple of one person, and I've had my fair share of EMS arriving, getting glucagon injections into my leg, being woken up with IVs in my arms. It used to be really dangerous. So anybody that contacts me, I'm just like, if you can get on Dexcom and an Omnipod, I would say more Dexcom than anything because injections suck. They're not fun. But being able to see those trends and be able to fix it before it goes any which way, which are both bad, is life changing. Uh,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
Gives
So,
you freedom that you didn't have before and,
right.
control over what's going to happen, which you didn't have before. Yeah.
Right. And the conversation starters of, people asking me what it is, like that's also been something that I've enjoyed because it's brought awareness to it. And kids seeing my videos and I've shown mine off. I don't really care anymore. I remember caring, especially when I was a teenager. I wanted to hide it. I went to bathrooms to take my injections. I didn't do it out in the open just because, you don't want to be made fun of. You don't want to be bullied. None of that. I feel like it's a very normal thing as a child, but being able to meet other kids or talk to their parents online and tell them it does get better, they will come into their own and find a way.
Right.
Um, has been really cool for me because I wish somebody had done that for me.
Yeah, because I think as a young person, you just want to be normal, you want to fit in, right?
Yeah.
And so you having that and sharing that while you're leading people, I think is a great thing to help them know that you still fit in, you
Yeah.
still fit in. It's just one little thing about you, that makes you different in a good way. So,
Thanks.
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really, really like an inspirational thing.
Yeah,
So,
I was going to say it's very inspiring that you didn't let this stop you from your goal and what you wanted to do. And, you just kept pushing on. And, obviously technology is a great thing that you have these resources now to help you. And you have like, it gives you that little energy and it tells you what you're going up and down, like you said. So that's amazing. And, now living a normal life, right?
right?
As much as
Yeah,
you can.
as much as you
Yeah.
can with it, but it's so much more than before.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So I love that part of it and that you share that part. And can you share a little bit about the membership that you offer people so that they can take part? Because people all over can tune in and dance with you and do weight training with you and really work out from home if they don't want to be a part of a big gym or don't have access to a big gym. So how can people do that? Can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing with it?
Yeah. So the membership I offer is literally everything that you see on Instagram or social media. All of that gets put on the website along, like you said, along with the strength workouts for $15 a month. Anyone in the world can do it. The
Amazing.
the party that we run the payment through, like literally just converts wherever you are. It's so amazing. I've gotten to talk to people from Australia, Jakarta. Like it's been really awesome getting to connect with people all over the world. But that membership, like I said, it involves all of our dance classes, which can be anywhere from 2 to 3 dance classes a week. There are a series of like beginner videos that I did one on one from my home. There are like our 5, 6, 7, 8 classes, which is kind of like our beginner class where every routine is walked through, talked through, questions are answered, and we go over it before we put it to music. And those are on there. And then once a week, I do a strength training workout, whatever series we're going through. Right now, we're doing like a summer glow up series, but I've done things like BYOB, which was build your own booty. And it really started with COVID. The gyms closed and I needed to work out. And so it was me taking that personal training side and being like, okay, I'm going to grab my 6-month-old and she weighs however many pounds and we're going to get a dining room chair and I'm going to hold her and we're going to do step ups.
There you
So
go.
just things like that. I wanted to make it where you could grab things that I know we all have around the house. Like I remember grabbing a potty stool one time, just like a 1 foot up, 1 foot down, like a squat, but to get more into that lateral side, I'm just like, go grab your potty step. Or like I used a tool chest for bridges one time, just, just stupid stuff to where somebody can't go, well, I don't have equipment at home. I can't work out. And it's just not true. And I know for me, sometimes it can be intimidating to see somebody put a YouTube video out and they have like this beautiful home gym space and it's almost just like, well, I can't relate to that. I don't know. There's a jealousy factor. That's on my part. That's my problem. But I wanted somebody where I felt like I could relate to them more with, seeing their kids' laundry everywhere and just
Right.
the mess that comes with life. And so I started doing those strength training workouts. And what I also wanted to provide was the cueing. I feel like there's a lot of strength workouts out there where they just put like the clock in the corner and you do a certain move for a minute and they don't talk to you. They just throw music on and the timer goes off and then you move on to the next thing. Something that is really important to me is knowledge and teaching people how to lift, where you need to engage. I know for me, it's like, pull your belly button in. Nope, pull your belly button in. Okay, we're still going to do this, but you're going to pull your belly button in, and like feeling like a broken record. But it's also that feedback from them of the cueing and letting them know, oh, I can't just do 10 reps. Like there is some actual thought power process that has to go through every single rep to make the quality of your workout worth it. And then they're able to take all of that knowledge that I've given them, and essentially what any good trainer would want is for their clients to be able to walk into wherever they're going to go and work out on their own and come up with their own programming and know what's right and what's wrong, and if I feel it here then I need to activate more here. I know that all of that can seem really overwhelming for a beginner, but going back to those foundational things, I feel like even as an advanced lifter, can be so crucial and great too. So I really try to push that in the strength training workouts instead of just being like, okay, this is what we're doing today, 5 sets,
Right.
go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that mind body thing is something that's super important, comes later. Just like, yes, I'm going to connect that right now. I'm working my core and I need to focus on that area and pull your belly button in, whatever it is. But once you have it, you do have it. Like it's something that you incorporate later as you get more in depth. And I do think, especially weights in the fitness industry can be overwhelming for people. Scary. They don't know exactly how to do it. So I think it's a great way for them to get into that and experience it without feeling overwhelmed. Like, this is not something I can do, especially for women to get overwhelmed by weights. I have friends that are very like, oh, so it's so important for us though to build muscle, especially at our age, Anne and I at least, we need muscle at this point. Women need muscle. So
yeah, it's the I don't want to get bulky. It always makes me laugh because I'm just, oh man.
Yeah.
right.
No,
It's
it
that
doesn't happen.
takes a lot if you think you're gonna look like a dude. You're not.
Right.
Right. We always say that. We're like, we lift heavy weights. And if you think we look manly, you let us know. But
Yeah.
I'm all woman.
yes.
Right.
It's a common thing though that women say, oh, I don't want to lift weights. I don't want to get too bulky. I don't want to look like a guy. And as women, we won't look that way. Our bodies are not built to look that way. So
Well, it's misinformation. It's the unknown. It's a little bit scary. And, that's where they gear towards because that's what they see and
right.
people talk about. But
Right.
Where do you see, this all going for you? You're Instagram famous now. You have an online people
Forum. Yeah.
forum, and you do have an in studio. Is that correct?
So I don't have my own studio. I actually rent
No.
out from, yeah, the way that housing and all that is right. No way. Yeah, that would be the dream, obviously, is to have my own space, maybe one day. But right now it's really about just growth in just that online community. And I am really pushing for a certification this year. And so a lot of those women that you do see in my classes, developing my team so that we can go out and certify other instructors to take the choreography and run with it. Yeah. So that's what I'm really excited about, just with that networking opportunity as well, just because there are so many dance fitness instructors that I feel like, oh my gosh, their gifts are they're just amazing, and wanting to collaborate with them, that's what I'm really truly truly excited about. And so I really hope that that gets taken and grows, and just the relationships that I'm wanting and I picture, I'm really excited about. So
You've probably heard about this in mailers, knocks at your door, or phone calls from different suppliers lining up to sell you their various plans. But finding the right provider with the best plan can be like finding a needle in a haystack. We know that time is money, and Paramount Energy Management saves you both. Our energy experts do all the work for you by comparing plans and negotiating the lowest rate tailored to the specific needs of your business. It doesn't stop with getting you the best rate possible. We make sure it stays that way with our active ongoing energy management. Paramount Energy Management is a one-stop shop for all your energy needs at absolutely no cost to you. We don't work for the suppliers. We work for you. It's that simple. Contact us for your free, no obligation quote today.
It will. I see such good things for you. If you get a certification to teach other instructors to get certified in lace up cardio dance, I would definitely do it in a heartbeat.
you're
I'm
There
obsessed
you
with
go.
with your choreo, and you are an endless fountain of more routines. That's what I feel like. Like every day, I'm like, she got another one. How is she coming up with all this? So you're super creative. And obviously, you have all these other fitness instructors across the country and the world looking at you and saying, oh my gosh, you're amazing. I want to use that in my routines, or I'm inspired to use a piece of that in my routine. That should tell you plenty right there, that they're looking to you. So I think, yeah, it's going to happen. I don't know how long it takes for something like that to happen, but I have no doubt that it will for you.
well, thank you. I don't know how long that takes either. It's funny because I have always joked that like I have like dance schizophrenia. Like I have these dancers that move up in my head with movement, and that's just what happens. Like I'll just be driving in the car and they start dancing, and it's probably not very safe while I'm driving. But it's just the choreography side of things has always been like, I touched on it a little bit. I've always hated performing. I don't like being on stage. I don't like black being in front of me. I don't like the bright light. I would have panic attacks before I would perform on stage. But what I do love is that creative process. Like I said, collaborating with other people and watching that movement come to life. So I am so excited for that, just because the instructors that I have talked to, they have inspired me in return, because they'll tag me in their videos. I'm just like, oh my gosh, you took that and you made it this. I love that. And it's been a dream come true for sure.
Very exciting. Yeah. So I'm excited for you. I think it's just the
Thank you.
sky's the limit. And if for any of our listeners, can you share where they would go to look at your videos to sign up for a membership so that they can start with that step now?
Yeah. If you want the website, it's Somble, SOMBLE.com /Lace Up Fitness, LACE UP Fitness. And there's a link also in my Instagram page. Instagram is Lace Up Cardio Dance. And you can click it and it'll take you to the website, and you get signed up, and you'll get a beginner's email that walks you through everything. There's a Lace Up Start Here program that'll start you with beginner classes. We've really tried to make it easy to come in and be a part of this family instantly and feel comfortable and confident.
I love it. It's amazing. And one more question. Do you ever have big fitness classes that you teach where you are, which is Texas, right? Do you ever have a bigger forum where you have a lot of people come in for an event, or have you done that yet? And are you thinking about doing something like that?
I have not done that yet. I actually did my very first collab class with the Dance to Fit founder, Jessica Bass James. That was my first time to do anything like that. And that was last month. So I'm hoping maybe that door is just opening. I would love to do what she just finished doing, which is a tour. I know that takes time, but I would love to do that when my kids are a little bit older, I
Right.
think. And I can take that time away. But, that's all in the dream, right? So
Very cool. Very cool.
Yes.
I want to thank you so much for being on. I love you. I think you're amazing. Such a good
I love you
message.
too.
And we appreciate you sharing with our listeners who I think are going to love you as much as we do.
Yeah, absolutely. You've been an inspiration to Alicia, who's been teaching classes at our gym for the last few months, and it's been great. We enjoy it. Now that I've met you, you're an amazing person. I love hearing your story, and we hope that other listeners will love it too and follow you on Instagram.
Yes.
Lace Up Cardio and Dance, and remember next time because
We have got to talk.
Bye.
Bye.